What's up everyone, my name is Alex, I'm one of the co-founders of myinvestingclub.com, and I want to let you guys know about something special we're doing for our viewers on YouTube. So the most common question we get asked is, how do I start day trading? So what me and my mentor Bao did is we create a free 2-hour mentorship course for the brand new trader. It's going to be available at myinvestingclub.co. The link is going to be right here. This is a free webinar that reveals our 12 secrets that every single brand new day trader should know before they start. I also want to let you guys know about something that's very unique to MIC. So if you have any questions about trading, or you're curious about trading, or you don't know if MIC is the right fit for you, now you can text our head mentor Tosh, whose number is going to be right here, and he'll answer all the questions that you have in less than 24 hours. Thank you and enjoy the video.
What's up guys, it's Harry Haas, and today I'm going to be just going over 3 trades I made in the last week or so that are completely identical, and it's more so how to kind of spot a trap or a squeeze before they happen. I know that there have been some chat rooms involved in some of these plays, but I really don't think the chat room is necessarily the reason for some of these big moves, and I'll kind of explain why as well. I do think the chat rooms have been involved as far as making them a little bit bigger and stronger, but for some of these moves, they've started moving before chat rooms have even alerted them or even seen them, so they're not the main kind of reason, and I'll kind of get into that as well. Also, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so even if this may seem like investment advice, it's really not. But without further ado, let me get into this video. So the first trade I'm going to talk about is EDSA. It's a low float. There was some consolidation. And I also put in that sometimes when these chat rooms do get involved and you have a couple, 1,000 people involved buying the strength in a move, you can have some crazy pullback action as well. So that's why I'm always trying to long at the best kind of risk reward price. I'm paying attention to float rotation, and I'm always risking off the low. I'm always trying to buy near the bottom of the range or near the low of day. And I'll kind of get into that as well. So this one, EDSA, it's pretty straightforward. Basically off the open, I kind of let it do its thing. I didn't want to get involved too early because on a lot of these low float stocks, that's my main thing. I just don't want to be too early. In hindsight, yeah, probably I could have played off this, but I think I was paying attention to another play at this time. So, I mean, that's okay. I missed this kind of spike into 7. That's okay. Then we kind of pull back, and I noticed that we were kind of holding this level. So I actually took some when we started to grind up, and it seemed like we were having some momentum to kind of go higher. It failed to, in my opinion, it should have broken through $6. It failed to break through. So I took some at like 630 area or whatever the low of this candle is, and I was in near the low of this candle, and I was just risking kind of in this type of area. Obviously with these kind of bigger moves, you're gonna need to use less share size in order to risk more if that's kind of what you want to do. But basically I was just kind of gonna risk off this kind of $6 area because basically what I was thinking was that, okay, we're going to grind up, have a kind of higher low here, and then continue on forward. And that's exactly what we got. By the time the chat rooms got involved in this, it was, all the way up here, and they kind of saw it perk up, and it kind of went higher. So as for a chat room really causing this pump, I don't really think that a chat room was the #1 source of the reason why this happened. They do help pushing the moves up a little bit higher, but for the most part, we're in a kind of market at the moment where people are willing to chase anything. And it's people who aren't even, in a chat room who are chasing everything. So I was just trying to get in, basically risking this kind of 6 area, went higher. I sold into strength, which is my motto every single time, is I always want to sell into strength. And that's exactly what I did. Then it came down, and I really didn't want to trade it again, but after I kind of saw, basically what I saw here was that, I didn't want to be too early, and I saw it kind of push up into strength, and then I said, okay, well maybe I'll get it on a kind of higher low, kind of like it did over here. But we almost got like a big push and then a slam back down, and I noticed that 6 held again. And basically I said I have the opportunity here to get in, risking 6. If it doesn't work, I can just, get out lower. And basically that's what I did. I got in around kind of near the bottom of the $6 area. It started to grind a little bit higher. The reason why I didn't take it off right away was because I kind of had an idea. I wanted to see another kind of 7.5 test. I was patient. I had already made money on this one, and I was in at such a great risk reward area where I was able to be more patient. And that's why entry is really important. When you have a really good entry like this, where I can literally risk the low of the day, that's great. And I mean, it was a great risk reward play. I was licking my chops, and we started to grind up here. We started to get some more strength, and then I just took it off into strength. My idea was kind of like, okay, we just got over an 8-hole number. It should look to pull back. I was honestly looking for it to go maybe lower or maybe in around this level. It ended up continuing higher to like 8.5, kind of the like $half mark or whatever. And I guess it kind of pulled back. Usually I'm not really a pullback guy, but when I saw this kind of area holding, it's almost like, this kind of resistance becoming support. I liked it. I just took some. I was literally just risking a little bit lower because I do know how powerful these backsides can be. Then it ended up trying to break the level again. It didn't. Then we ended up going to 10. I took some off right into 10, and that was pretty much it. This backside, I wasn't touching at all. I didn't like it at all. Sorry about that. This backside, the reason why I don't like these backsides on the low float is because what I've been seeing is that everyone is chasing all the way up, and when they see it start to go red, it's almost like a first red day in this type of market, where when you're playing the first red day setup, the key thing that you want to see is obviously the stock to go red. Obviously, because it's called the first red day setup. But in this type of scenario, we're almost seeing that first red day happen right here. The minute we get some red and some pullback, no one's buying, everyone's selling, everyone's afraid, all the sheep are exiting, and we're getting a strong pullback. So it's almost like when we kind of see that type of action, to me, that's almost like, it's literally, I compared this type of price action to like a first red day setup, because it's literally just, starts to crack, starts to show a little bit of weakness, and that's it. Just, you're not going to get a bounce. You're just going to get scared people. They're going to be trying to sell into every pop, and that's really what we got here. So yeah, I mean, this is really about it. Also, if you were long from here and you didn't maybe get filled up here, the minute you see this candle, you have to get out. You have no choice but to get out, trying to get into a pop or whatever. But again, the minute in this market, people see a little bit of weakness, it's game over. Everyone's selling, everyone's panicking, everyone's scared. And that's exactly, kind of what we're seeing. So I'm going to show you basically, as I said at the start of this video, 3 identical trades, and we're just going to kind of go over one by one. CTIB, another low float, some consolidation similar to the EDSA trade. We saw it start to grind up. We saw volume start picking up. All these stocks, you need to understand, are under VWAP. A lot of people like to short under VWAP because they feel comfortable, which is completely fine. But if it starts to grind higher or above VWAP, you need to stop out, because there are a ton of VWAP traps happening right now, where some of my best longs in the last month have been stocks under VWAP because they're trapping below VWAP. They know that they can trap a lot of short sellers. They know that they can have short sellers get a little bit too confident or too cocky, and shorts aren't going to want to cover when it starts to grind above VWAP. And then it starts to grind, and then, you're down $1, $2 a share, and you're saying, what the hell did I do? So it's always good, if you are short under VWAP, to just nip it in the bud. And remember, you can always re-enter. If we get a stuff on VWAP, you can always add back into a pop, risking VWAP again. But when it starts to grind underneath VWAP, again, those are some of the best traps at all time. I mean, right here, if you have a bunch of people short thinking, oh, this is done, and it starts to grind and grind and grind higher, you're now causing everyone who shorted in this type of area, which is where I would assume most short sellers were actually short. You're squeezing them all out, and they end up blowing their account on something like this because they didn't stop out, right here or wherever their risk level was, right? Again, CTIB, I've already kind of talked about this, risking off the low again. So you'll notice that this type of chart is the same as before. Again, on CTIB, I'm not sure why, but I must be focusing on other stocks at the open, because I just left this alone. I didn't touch it. I didn't trade it. That's okay. It comes back down. We start getting this grind again, we're getting this kind of consolidation area. It's the same type of price action as well as, similar to the last one as well. I could take one right here in this kind of 620 area, risking 20-cent risk, not bad. And then we started to grind higher, and it started to grind higher. I think the chat rooms got involved closer to the top, and then we got this backside. And again, similar to like the other pattern, the backsides aren't really bouncing at all, and we're just getting a continual fade. Everyone who bought up here is trapped. All the shorts who were short from down here have covered at the top, and that is really about it. So you really need to pay attention. If you're shorting, you're saying the range is basically 5.5 to 8 in the morning. So you don't want to be close shorting to the lows. You want to be shorting closer to a pop. And I love this type of trapping action where they kind of bring it up and then they slam it back down. Everyone who chased here is screwed. But everyone who's short is saying, wow, that's my confirmation. I can get short. It obviously can't go higher. There's bag holders or whatever. I don't know what people are thinking. But we get this hold on 6. And I was honestly not convinced. But when it started to grind a little bit higher, I said, okay, I can take some 620. I can risk $6. You know, it's not the end of the world if I get stopped out. But again, it's the same type of action as before. And we got that kind of volume drying up. People thinking that it's done. And whoosh, we get this beautiful action all the way up to the top. So I mean, for me, these trades are literally identical, where I'm just kind of waiting for the morning action to happen, and I'm just looking and longing in around this part. But anyway, I would just also like to say thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the room.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you want to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button here. We do our best to post a new video every single day. If you have any questions about MIC or any general trading questions, please text Tosh using the number here. Also, stay up to date by watching some of our most recent videos right over here.